is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a most marvelous day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your thumbs up, for your comments, and thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to love one another, whether we want to or not, or whether we agree with each other or not. And today, we are going to give credit where credit is due. Now, we've had our problems with the Asians, from fighting black people in their shops and messing up your nails when you went to get a really nice nail job, to complaining about their racism against black people. So we've had our problems with the Asians, and especially this year, with them running to court to get affirmative action overturned because they apparently thought that if they overturned affirmative action, it was going to run all of the black students out of Harvard and the University of North Carolina, and they were going to get more slots. And it didn't turn out to be that way. Turns out that all they did was opened up more slots for white legacy students. So black people have been having a little fun making fun of the Asians because it backfired on them. And I've made a video or two about it myself. So we've had our issues with the Asians. But at the end of the day, Asians are considered minorities in the United States. So they're going to have problems with the same people we have problems with. They might not have the same problems, and the problems may not be as deep, but they have their problems too. But this is America, and things change very fast. And sometimes it comes up out of nowhere. Things that you didn't even know were on the radar would come up. And just like that, things change. And sometimes when you thought somebody was an enemy, they'll do something, and all you can do is shake your head and say, I didn't expect that from her. We have to give credit where credit is due. And this time we are talking about Boston's mayor, Michelle Wu. Michelle Wu came under fire a few weeks ago because she's throwing a party for the electeds of color only on the Boston City Council. And when the email went out, some people who were not electeds of color, which is to say they were white, accidentally got the invitation, and it was rescinded. It was an oops, you weren't supposed to get this. And it has caused probably some hurt feelings in Boston. So she came under criticism about the party, and she answered and said the party was going to go on because it had been going on for over 10 years. And so she calls herself an elected of color, and she says it's her turn to host the party this year. And so she wants her turn to host. So the party will go on. And she has received a lot of backlash for that. But she has stood her ground, and the party indeed went on. And here are the attendees. The arrow is pointing to the mayor. It's 15 of them. I think I counted right. And they seem to be very happy. Look how dressed and festive looking they are. And they are smiling and looking into the camera. And these are the Boston electeds of color. I can't see what they're eating, but I just am going to assume that it was a very nice dinner. It's nicely decorated. And, you know, they've been doing it for over 10 years, and the white folks just found out about it. The Boston Globe says Mayor Wu's Electeds of Color holiday party was a sign of how far Boston has come. Now, I'm sure this is shade, but if they're trying to say that these people ought to be trying to have a party with the white people of Boston, I beg to differ. Black people have been complaining about how racist Boston is since back in the 50s or the 60s when Bill Russell was playing basketball with the Boston Celtics. He was one of the first professional black basketball players to play on a professional team. And they were complaining about how racist that town is. Black professional basketball players who go to Boston, for the most part, can't wait to get out of that town. Everybody complains about how racist that town is. So if you are that racist, it's a good chance that people really don't want to party with you. I believe this is an editorial in the Boston Globe. It says, "Dear friends and family, well, another holiday season is upon us, with Michelle Wu as the first woman, Asian American, and person of color serving as the elected mayor of Boston." See? First woman, first Asian American, person of color. See? Right there. They already know who she is, so they didn't have to do all of that. He says, "Last December, I wrote about how all was not well between Wu and the business community, and how all I wanted for Christmas is for everyone to get along. I am happy to report that those relations are less frosty this year, but now there's a new contretemps about Wu hosting an electeds of color holiday party at the Parkman House, a city-owned mansion on Beacon Hill." I think Beacon Hill is like the most affluent part of Boston. So they're trying to make a point that this is city property, but she's having a party of electeds of colors only. Like they really want black people and Hispanics and Asians too, for that matter, at their party. They just don't want to be not invited to their party. And that's this person's way of saying it's our city or whatever. You know, you get the drift. It's just shade. How dare she? Who the blank does she think she is? The most powerful politician in Boston? First, there was outrage when the invite mistakenly went out to the entire Boston City Council, not just the 6 councilors of color. Then the real horror set in, the realization that white people are not welcome, to which people of color everywhere reacted. Welcome to our world. Absolutely. They know they have parties that they don't invite anybody to. So, she threw another party where everybody in the city government was invited, and that was about 50 people at that party. There's only 15 of those at the electeds of color party. But this person, this writer, went on whining about the electeds of color party and saying they need to end it. They just need to end it because it's divisive. Now, everything they've been doing for the last 400 years hasn't been divisive, but this one party is divisive. Now, you feel bad because they don't want you at their party, so now you want to shut it down. That's what you call white fragility. Then he went on to say, what if the Italian mayor that they had before had a party for only Italians? Well, what he's missing is that Italians are white, so they're in the package anyway. So all of this gaslighting and this white fragility, it really needs to stop. You know, you can't even stand for these people to have a party where they can be comfortable, have a good time, and not have to be bothered about you, your snobby behavior, and your nasty racist jokes that you find so funny, but that everybody else finds offensive. When you say, well, I don't want to be bothered with that, now that's a problem. So here goes the real problem. On Wu's watch, women and entrepreneurs of color were awarded 14% of the city of Boston's contracts in fiscal 2023, more than double the figure the previous year. She created a reparations task force to better understand the legacy of slavery in Boston and recommend restorative justice solutions. So there's your problem right there. And there are other initiatives that she's taken to benefit people of color. So that's the problem. That is the problem that they have with her. They're hiding behind this party that they know they don't care anything about, but it's always about money and power. And they're afraid of losing that and they thought she was going to be a safe choice for Boston. They think Asians are always submissive and easygoing. China would not be an emerging superpower if Asians were so docile and submissive. Okay? So anyway, that's the problem. She's giving contracts to women and people of color, and that would include black people, I'm hoping. And also, she's doing a reparation study. See, Boston has a legacy of slavery just like the rest of the country. So that's the problem right there. But anyway, she's standing her ground, and they're going to have an election on 2025. So she says they're going to try to use this party to say that she's dividing the city. They don't care anything about that city being divided. They care about her giving contracts. Now, 14%. That means white people are getting 86% of the contracts. White people are about 48% of the population in Boston, but they're getting 86% of the city's contracts. But they want all of them. That's the problem. They always want it all. So that tells you the kind of country we're still living in, but we're striving to make it more perfect. Okay, y'all, let me know what you think about the video. Thank you for listening. Subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, share the video, and as always, have a great day.